Caribbean countries hoping for a meaningful outcome from the Global Climate Change Conference. And in sport, Windies lose a second series to Bangladesh for the year. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Friday, December 14. I'll be back with the details after the break.
The Heat Latin Music Awards are made in Latin American territory with a large component of popular voting, which aims to become a milestone in the music industry by awarding the main stars of Latin music. HTV has announced the nominees for Heat Latin Music Awards 2019, and Colombia's J Balvin leads the list with 5 nominations. Ozuna and Sebastian Yatra have earned 4 nominations each, and Greasy, Maluma, Karol G, Anita, Bad Bunny, and Gabriel stand out with 3 nominations each.
Get up, stand up, put your hands up. Doodle buggers doing his thing, he never let up. Hit up Facebook, Twitter, and let them know who got the JACC. Why type flow, you know it's knowledge, 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 JACC. Why type flow, you know it's knowledge, 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 knowledge. Yo, tell them who you is, God. Knowledge.
CARICOM countries have called for a strong political and meaningful outcome to the 24th Conference of the Parties to the United Nations on Climate Change that ends in Poland today. Member states said in a joint statement that COP24 will continue to build the momentum in addressing global climate change, particularly bringing international attention to the plight of small island developing states. They also noted the escalated impacts of climate change in recent years, with global temperatures over 1 degree Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Of particular concern is the devastating impact from hurricanes and tropical storms and other weather-related events. They also reiterated the long-standing calls from SIDS for limiting the increase in average global temperatures to below 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels by the end of the century in order to avoid the worst impacts of climate change. The regional countries also welcomed the adoption of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change Special Report on the impacts of global warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels and related global greenhouse gas emission pathways, which was approved in October. The newly appointed chair of the Association of Small Island States, Carlos Fuller of Belize, attended the COP24 conference. He has been outlining the priorities for his country and the rest of the region.
Actually, when it was lobbied to get the president's chairmanship this year, actually presented a manifesto. And that was done by the permanent mission in New York, because that is where most things operate during the year before we actually go to a COP or a negotiating session or any other meetings that are held. Well, one of the things was to continue to defend the position that for SIDS, we are the most vulnerable group of countries to climate change. That is continually being threatened by other regions. So that's an area that we certainly want to advance. The second area is to put some structure into the AOSIS process because right now there is no secretariat, there is no defined term limit, there is no process in place yet. So we would like to establish that institutionalize the process coming out of it.
In other news now, trade unions in Trinidad and Tobago have told the government they are prepared for lives to be lost as they battle against the mistreatment of workers at state entities. They made the declaration as they put the Keith Rowley administration on notice that they will not give up their struggle on behalf of workers. The leaders held a news conference to condemn what they described as an attack on Secretary General of the Communication Workers Union, Clyde Elder. Elder was reportedly forcefully removed from the compound of the Telecommunications Services of Trinidad and Tobago, TSTT. We get more in this CNC3 News report.
I'm tired of this coming every day now. And meow, meow, meow. It's time to roar.
One by one, union leaders on Thursday expressed their solidarity with the CWU's Secretary General following what they call an assault against him ordered by the management of TSTT and government. At a news conference, Clyde Elder recounted how a simple visit to the company's Nelson Exchange branch to hear workers' grievances ended up with him being attacked and seeking medical attention. He said while many believe he was faking, his life was in danger.
When he released me, because of the grip he had on me, and for the period he had that grip on me, I was standing for a while, and then I went down to the ground. Because I was gasping for air, and I was having some pain across my chest.
Elder said while the matter is engaging the attention of the police and his attorneys, it's time for the Labour Minister to raise her voice on what he claims is a clear move to eliminate the union movement.
Where is your voice when Labour is crying out? When the rights of Labour are being trampled on?
But PSA and NATUC President Watson Duke said the time for talk is over. He warned the government to stay away from WASA and government employees.
There must be people within the trade union movement who are willing to die. Unless you are willing to die, you are not prepared to lead in the time of war. And I remind my cabinet friends that the day they come for WASA is the day they have to prepare the morgues for us. You're not going to take our bread and butter from us and expect us to go home and be pussycats.
And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. Shea Hope struck his second successive 104th of his career, but West Indies' four-year wait for a one-day series win continued Friday when they went down by 8 wickets to Bangladesh in the decisive third one-day international. Now entering the contest at the Sylhet International Cricket Stadium with high hopes after impressively leveling the series in Dhaka on Tuesday, West Indies were brought back down to earth again when their batsmen once again disappointed, managing an inadequate 198 for 9 of their 50 overs. But the right-handed Hope, whose career best unbeaten 147 was instrumental in Tuesday's win, was once again the only beacon for the Caribbean side, stroking a high-class 108 not out. Bangladesh coasted in reply with Tamim Iqbal top scoring with an unbeaten 81 and Sumya Saka carving out a near runner ball 80, comfortably reaching their target in the 39th over under no pressure. The series defeat was the Windies' second of the year to Bangladesh following a similar 2-1 loss in the Caribbean earlier this year, and they are now without a series success since they got the better of the Tigers in the Caribbean back in 2014. And Bermuda's sporting bodies may soon have a bigger pool of athletes to draw on at international events following a Supreme Court ruling. In a case brought by 2 junior athletes supported by Equal Opportunities in Sport, a group set up to promote participation in sport highlighted that the Bermuda Constitution defines all those who belong to Bermuda as those holding Bermudan status, naturalized British overseas territories citizens, their wives and children under age of 18. We'll get more of that story in our major newscast at 6:30. That's Caribbean in 10. Good afternoon.